The title says don't move to Bellaire, and I'm completely serious. But here's what you need to understand before you scroll past. These 5 reasons are only deal breakers if you're the wrong fit for the city, because Bellaire is not a place for everyone. It is very specific kind of community, and if it's not your kind of place, you need to know now before you sign on the dotted line. If you're seriously considering the Houston area and Bellaire keeps coming up on your radar, stay right here. This video will either save you from a very expensive mistake, or it will confirm you found exactly where you belong. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Natasha Carroll, your Houston area real estate guide covering Cypress, Bellaire, Katy, Richmond, Spring, The Heights, Tanglewood, Memorial. On this channel, we skip the fluff, give you the honest, local knowledge you actually need. If you haven't actually already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and drop a comment below telling me where you're relocating from. Now, let's get into the video. When 1 million buys you a lot less than you think, let's start with the one that surprises most people. And it should only be very first thing you think about before touring any single home. The price point in Bellaire is actually no joke. According to Redfin, most recent data, the median home price in Bellaire is hovering around that 1.1 million as early as 2025. And if you're not getting a massive estate, keep that in mind as well. You're getting a well-maintained, charming home, often in the 2,500 to 3,500 square feet range on a relatively modest lot. If you're coming from a market where $1 million means acreage and a 3-car garage, Bellaire is going to feel like a culture shock to you. Now, this is not a knock on the value, and we'll get to why it commands the price that it does. But if your budget sits comfortably around the $700,000 range, the numbers are going to push you towards many neighboring communities. According to the Houston Association of Realtors, Bellaire price per square footage consistently ranks among the highest inside of Beltway 8. That is a real constraint if your square footage needs are large and your budget actually has a ceiling. Next, we're going to talk about zero highways, zero tolerance of rush hour. Something a lot of people don't fully process until they're already living there. Bellaire is landlocked. City completely surrounded by Houston. It has no direct highway footage, and to get anywhere, you're navigating the neighborhood streets that feed into some of the busiest corridors in the city, such as Westheimer, 610 Loop, and of course, 59 Highway. According to Texas A&M Transportation Institute Urban Mobility Report, the Houston Metro consistently ranks in the top 10 of worst traffic congestion in the nation. And Bellaire residents commuting downtown or towards the energy corridor during peak hours can expect significant travel time. Not because the distance is far, but because the surrounding city is just so dense, of course. And to be fair, if you work in Texas Medical Center, Bellaire is one of the most strategic locations in all of Houston. A lot of physicians and healthcare professionals choose Bellaire specifically for that proximity. But if your job pulls you in a different direction, this is a real conversation you need to have with yourself before you even commit to this area of town. Next, we're going to talk about built out, locked in, the inventory problem nobody mentions. This transitions right into something that catches buyers off guard. Bellaire is essentially built out. There's very little vacant land left. New construction is rare. When a home hits the market, competition can be intense. And according to Zillow's research, homes in Bellaire have historically sold in under 30 days, often with multiple offers. And according to the National Association of Realtors, total existing homes inventory nationally remains well below pandemic norms. And boutique boutique cities like Bellaire absorb the pressure in a very concentrated way. What that means practically is you may not find the exact home you want in the condition you want the moment you're ready to buy. You may be competing. And if you're a buyer who likes to take your time and negotiate from a relaxed position, Bellaire's market can feel stressful. It rewards buyers who are decisive, who are pre-approved, and working with someone who knows this market quite well. Let's pause here for a second because I want to bring this back to where we started. We said Bellaire is not for everyone, and everything we have covered so far is exactly why that is true. The price point is premium. The commute requires strategic thinking, and the inventory is competitive enough that I would say you genuinely need to be prepared to enter this market. But here's what I want you to hold on to. Every single one of those things has a flip side that makes Bellaire worth every bit of it for the right buyer. We are about to get into the two most revealing reasons on the list, including the one that ties directly back to why people fight so hard to get into the city in the first place. Before we continue, if you're researching a move to the Houston area and you want a real breakdown of the best neighborhoods, top rated schools, and everything you need to plan a fresh start, here I put together a free Texas relocation guide just for people in your position. The link in the description box below, go grab it. It's completely free and it will save you hours, of course, on research. Okay, back to Bellaire for now. D, a city that has opinions about the alarm. This is one little difference from a typical HOA concern, but it matters. Bellaire operates as its own municipality with its own city, its own government, its own police department, and code enforcement. That level of governance means that the city takes its aesthetics standards very seriously. It's something for you to think about. The upside is the consistency you see when you're thriving through the neighborhoods. The streets are clean, properties are well maintained, and there's a cohesiveness that feels genuinely intentional. The downside, though, is that if you want total flexibility over your exterior modifications or certain types of additions, you will want to review Bellaire city ordinances before you actually commit. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Bellaire spans roughly 3.6 square miles, just under 20,000 residents. That solid city structure means local governance is very close to the people. Neighbors are actually engaged. It gets noticed. And that kind of tight-knit accountability appeals to you, you will love it here. If you prefer anonymity and flexibility and a large neighborhood might suit you better, that might be something you could consider as well. Next, we're going to talk about the real reason people pay a premium here and why it might not be enough for you. Add this to one thing that brings everything full circle. The number one reason for Bellaire's price tag. The reason competition is so intense, the reason people stay for decades once they arrive is the school system. Bellaire is served primarily by Houston Independent School District, and the campuses like Bellaire High School have maintained a strong economic reputation. And of course, it has great competitive programs. According to the Texas Education Agency, most recent accountability ratings, Bellaire High School holds strong marks across multiple performance domains. For families with school-age children, this is often a non-negotiable that justifies every other trade-off on the list. But here is where I have to be straight with you. If you do not have children, if they're grown, or if you purchase an investment property, you're paying a significant premium for a benefit you may never directly use. So keep that in mind. And according to Freddie Mac's research on school district premiums, homes in highly rated school districts, they can command anywhere from 5 to 20% more than homes that are in comparable neighborhoods that are adjacent as in school zones. In Bellaire, that premium is very real. And if schools are not your priority, there are communities nearby that are similar in lifestyle, benefits at a lower entry point, and the conversation I will be happy to have with you. Here's the honest takeaway from everything we've just talked about. Bellaire is a premium, tightly held community with home prices that reflects its demand, limited inventory that keeps the market competitive, no highway access that requires you to think carefully about the commute. It's a city governance structure built on community standards and accountability, and a school district premium that is backbone of its long-term value. None of these are reasons to write off Bellaire. They're reasons to walk in completely with clarity and what you're buying and why it works for your lifestyle. The buyers who thrive here are the ones who understand exactly what they are paying for. And if that's you, Bellaire is a phenomenal place to plant roots for you and your family. And it's not quite the match for you. Houston has areas, incredible communities at every price point and lifestyle. And I'm here to help you find yours, of course. If you're seriously considering a move to Houston area, I would love to help you. Reach out to me directly through a link that we have in the description box below. And let's talk through your priorities and figure out which community actually makes sense for you and your lifestyle. While you're down there, don't forget to grab our Texas Relocation Guide, covering the best neighborhoods, schools, local insights for anyone starting fresh from here. And if you want to keep going, my next video breaks down the best Houston suburbs for value that's happening right now. And you're going to want to see it. Of course, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.